What's up, Taiwan? I'm Liao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's National Day celebrations are right around the corner. Our reporter Joyce Zeng went to meet the students who've been training to receive some of the event's most important guests.
Big smiles from the college students who've been selected as Taiwan's National Day ceremonial ushers. It's a role not many in the country get to say they've done.
I feel very honored and very happy that I can have the qualification to serve the guest.
These 12 students from National Taipei University will join those selected from other schools and work the floor during the day's massive celebrations. The main event at the presidential office shuts down nearby streets to hold parades and performances which draw large crowds. Now, on the day, these students will be stationed on stage and spread out around the presidential office grounds to receive guests. And to become one of these ushers is a very selective process and one that resembles a pageant. You have to walk gracefully, sit, and smile through long stretches of time. And on the day itself, this all has to be done under the heat of the sun. But the students have been training hard for this, from doing leg strengthening exercises to perfecting their smiles with a popsicle stick.
I think it's whole year time to training this for National Day ceremony.
It's a competitive gig, and special talents may help students land the job. But arguably, the most advantageous skill is knowing a foreign language, as the ushers will have to receive many international guests on the big day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to National Day ceremony.
法语 Bonjour, bienvenue à la cérémonie de la paix nationale. 日语
Konnichiwa.
The students are also trained to deal with emergencies, like crowd control and administering CPR.
If you need any assistance, please let me know.
With not long to go until Taiwan's National Day on October 10th, these ushers are geared up and ready to welcome those celebrating with style and a smile. John Su and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's military has named the first woman chief of its political warfare bureau. Lieutenant General Chen Yuling now heads the Army's Political Warfare Department. That office focuses on countering Chinese influence and psychological warfare operations. Chen will take over her new role after the current chief steps down on Sunday. Taiwan's first female two-star general, Chen has broken the glass ceiling on several positions in the country's military. India's border tensions with China have allowed Taiwan to take over as India's main partner for learning Mandarin. But Beijing's messy withdrawal has created problems Taipei is struggling to solve. Stash Butler reports.
Cutting Chinese characters from paper in his New Delhi classroom, Agastya Bose is learning Mandarin the hands-on way. Study of the language in India has suffered ever since border tensions with China boiled over 3 years ago. But with help from his Taiwanese teacher and the app Duolingo, Agastya says he's found a passion.
I picked up a little from Duolingo and I really enjoyed it, but then Duolingo crashed and I couldn't use it for some reason, so I decided to learn Chinese as third language. I enjoy it a lot.
Agastya's school is at the center of a countrywide transition. As Chinese companies and learning institutes have pulled out of India, Taiwan has moved in, offering teachers and resources to schools like this one. Facing diplomatic isolation because of China's claim over its territory, Taiwan is using soft power tactics like these to build ties with a global power. About 65 students at Bluebell School International learn Mandarin either through textbook or hands-on activities. They're one of only 2 schools in New Delhi to be taught by a native Mandarin speaker from Taiwan.
Sounds good.
That number does not include private teachers from Taiwan, like Nancy Xiao, who runs the Meiyu Chinese Language Center in the north of Delhi. China's withdrawal has allowed her to start using Taiwanese textbooks and offer Taiwan-certified tests. But with fewer companies in India looking for Mandarin ability, demand for her lessons has collapsed.
Now it's like online, offline together will be like 50 or 60 students now. It's pretty less, like 3 times lesser than before the offline, before the pandemic.
At Bluebell's, students face a different challenge. India has dropped Mandarin from the secondary school national curriculum, meaning students here won't get a qualification when they graduate, a concern for Taiwanese firms which rely on locals fluent in Mandarin to do business.
Without this in between, it's very hard for our people to come to India in large numbers.
It's a sign of the mixed opportunities India's tensions with China have brought. Taiwan has seized the opening to fund Mandarin teaching and build cultural ties. But Beijing's withdrawal has disrupted learning for all students, both in public schools and private. And Taiwan faces a tough task putting together the pieces for its language and trade to thrive. Leon Lien, Siobhan Powell and Stash Butler in New Delhi for TaiwanPlus.
14 years after it was devastated by a powerful typhoon, a village in Taitong is hosting a series of colorful light displays to try and bring back tourists. Returning for its 2nd year, the Zhiben Light Festival invites artists to create dynamic light displays that interact with nature. The theme of this year's festival is Return to Zhiben. In 2009, Typhoon Morakot badly damaged the southeastern village, killing nearly 700 people across the country. The light show will be on full display to the public from October 6th. There are over 1,000 types of moss in Taiwan. That's a richness of species on par with bigger countries, but only a handful of experts are cataloging and studying these tiny plants. John Van Trieste brings us a look into their world.
Taiwan's wild places vary from tropical lowlands to high mountains, but there's one thing that unites these landscapes: moss. The country has around 1,500 of the world's 23,000 varieties. Yao Kuiyu is one of 5 experts here who make their living studying these species. He's trekked all over the island taking samples, and he's still fascinated by these ancient, highly adaptable plants. They're an important part of every ecosystem they're found in, retaining water, cleaning the air, and serving as nurseries for other plants.
圆锥形的苔藓它会吸收水分，对这个森林水汽的保持是很重要。某一些物种会把那个细鳞藓啊，它会背在背上，细鳞藓有味道。 它可以就是躲避它的捕食者，像一些昆虫，它会躲在那个悬垂型的苔藓里面，那个鸟就啄不到它。
And especially when looked at closely under a magnifying glass, they present a world of shapes and colors. It's this side of moss that's led biology teacher Yang Yufeng to spend the past decade traveling the country in search of specimens. She's taken thousands of photos and shared them with fellow moss enthusiasts online.
苔藓也不只是绿色而已，甚至也有一些苔藓呢会呈现银白色，然后也有一些是呈现橘红色或者是紫色这样的一个色泽，其实是比大家想象的还要来得缤纷。那甚至在微观的世界里面，每一种苔藓都有很特殊的地方。
Young's fellow moss fans have begun cultivating their own moss at home and sharing tips for creating artistic arrangements. But as appreciation for moss spreads, so do fears about conservation.
发现很多大众喜欢的那个景观品，里面放的苔藓其实是中高海拔的苔藓。如果我们是带到平地来去培养的话，其实养不活。那另外呢，也会直接或间接造成山上苔藓株被盗采的这个情况。
These moss species have survived for millennia, but even this tiny subset of life on Earth isn't immune to human activities. Experts like Yao and Yang will continue their surveying and cataloging, and keeping an eye on moss well into the future. Devin Tsai and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with images of more than 500 swimmers competing in a sea race in Senegal. I'm Leslie Liao. Take care, and I'll see you next time.